Okay, welcome. This is just a short tutorial on how to configure and install VirtualBox. So I'm assuming you already know what VirtualBox is and what it does, so I'm kind of skip over that part about, virtualization and fake hardware and all that. And let's just talk about how to make it work on my machine. So assuming you have a Windows-based machine, there's some steps you have to take to prepare your machine for the best way that VirtualBox works. One of the things you have to do, if you haven't already, is you have to go into the BIOS of the machine and turn on the virtualization thing. Now this is an example of a very old one. So you're probably going to have to do a lookup. I mean, you're probably going to have to, go to the web and type in, Dell Optiplex 760 enable virtualization. And then it'll tell you reboot your machine, hold F2 down and then find some screen and do something. So basically I can't help you with that part because I don't know what kind of machine you have. And then in addition to that, you're going to have to make some tweaks to Windows. So one of the tweaks we're going to do is I'm going to go to the add and remove feature. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the control panel. And then I'm going to go into the programs and features. And here's the turn Windows features on and off. I need to click on that guy. And then I need to go through and disable things that are related to the existing virtualization feature built into Windows 10. So it's called Hyper-V, and it's not 100% a requirement, but it sure makes VirtualBox run better if you could disable the Hyper-V thing. So I'm going in here and I'm disabling this Hyper-V thing, but wait, there's more. Scroll on down towards the bottom, and there's a virtual machine platform and a Windows hypervisor platform. So I disabled 3 things in here to make this thing work well. Okay, but wait, I'm not done. Believe it or not. So I'm going to do this again, except this time I'm going to type security. And I'm going to go to where it says device security and core isolation. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to turn the memory integrity, the core isolation feature, off. All right, so that's 3 things. Something to do in the BIOS, which I really can't help you with. The add and remove features thing, which basically means disable the Hyper-V, and then core isolation. Those 3 things. Now it's slightly different in the Windows 11. Here's how it looks in Windows 11. Just a little different. I mean, you have the settings, little gear icon, and privacy and security, and then you get to device, and then you get to memory integrity. And likewise, it's slightly different. I mean, it's control panel, programs, features, except there's an extra one called Windows Sandbox. So in addition to the 3 that I already showed you, there's one more for Windows 11. Okay, so now that we've prepped our machine, now it's actually time to install. And install, believe it or not, is not all that complicated. So let's just launch a browser of your choice and type in VirtualBox. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and just go to the VirtualBox Honest to God website. I don't really need to read any of this stuff because I'm kind of okay. I want to go directly to doing a download, which kind of makes sense. By the way, I'm using the latest and greatest version here as of this taping of this video. It's 7.1.4. It's probably okay to pick the latest and greatest version. Okay, I'm going to pick the Windows host because that's what kind of machine I'm on. So it downloads that guy. And then in addition, I'm going to need what's called the extension pack. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the accept and download for that. But if you have a brand new machine that has nothing on it whatsoever, you're probably going to need a third component. You're going to need what's called the C++ redistributable pack. So let's get that now. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in. So it's just going to be C++ 2019 redistributable. Okay, this is a Microsoft thing, right? So let me click on this and we'll find the download for that. Okay, here we go. So here's the latest version. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this guy. Okay, so now I've got all 3 files that I need. Now you may not need this one, okay? Let me show you what happens if you don't. I'm going to go ahead and click on this to open this guy, and then, of course I get the UAC prompt, no big deal. Then it's going to come up and say, hey man, you need this, okay? So if you don't, if you don't have this problem, no big deal. So I'm going to hit finish. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy first. I go, yeah, I agree. All right. Okay. And now I'm going to do the VirtualBox guy. Okie dokie. Now, I'm going to just pick the defaults here. I'm not going to make any changes whatsoever. It's going to do all this stuff. It's going to try to put it there. I'm just going to say, sure, go right ahead. And then it's going to come up with this warning. Now, what this basically means is, for a very short period of time, it's going to interrupt your internet connection in order to install a driver. And so it's just a warning that, don't be downloading something while you're installing. Okay, so that's no big deal. I'm going to say yes. And then it says, hey, you're missing some core stuff to be able to do this in Python. And I'm thinking, that's fine. That's not of interest to me whatsoever. So I'm just going to ignore that. When continuing, you could install Python stuff later, but we're not gonna. So proceed with installation now? Yes, please. And then one more time, install. And it fires up and starts to run. Okay, now we're done, kind of. And then it says start after installation. I'm going to unselect that, okay? And then I'm going to click on the extension pack thing. In other words, even before I run it the first time, I'm going to click on the extension pack. Then it comes up and says, hey man, you want to install the extension pack? I say, yes, indeed I do. And of course you have to read the agreement. Okay, so that is it. We have successfully installed VirtualBox. Now, I'm actually not going to go through the steps on how to create a virtual machine right now, because that's in the videos specific to that class. Okay, everybody got this? Good. Well, I'll see you in the next video.